Welcome to the Markets Happy Hour podcast, a weekly markets update for investors the world over. Each week we discuss inflation, geopolitics, interest rates, equity markets, and other asset classes. To try to answer the question, what does this mean for my investment portfolio? Let's dive in.
I've just come from a forum where there were 5 CIOs on a panel. They were asked a very similar question. They all said inflation is here for the long term and it's going to be higher than you think. I agree. The problem is there's such a consensus that maybe it's wrong. And if we have a big recession, then maybe it goes the other way.
And of course, we have had deflation kind of in the rings for some time. And I know I'm going to spend a lot of time in Japan, where deflation was a problem for so long. So that's still in the end. And I suppose I'd love to ask those CIOs then, if inflation's here to stay, what are they doing about it in terms of portfolio construction? Because the traditional inflation hedges, if we put equity to the side, are also not looking particularly strong.
They were also asked that question and they struggled to answer it very much. I mean, the bottom line was a range of different assets and use derivatives to try and protect. That was the kind of common theme between their answers.
Does anyone disagree with that? I mean, I know we have some strongly bullish. Yeah.
Slightly. Inflation, UK inflation in particular, I believe is going to be high for the next couple of years, but only a couple of years because there are so many other external pressures on it, and the main one being AI. And AI has the potential, let's not say it's going to, but it has the potential to lead to significant deflation, potentially even hyperdeflation. The one constraint on that is energy prices, but we're doing a lot towards that. But AI is going to disrupt literally everything we do. And if you remember, I remember Excel spreadsheets in 1990 completely transformed what we were doing as actuaries, transformed what they were doing as accountants. This is Excel spreadsheet to a new order of magnitude on steroids. And there's so many aspects. Anything that requires thought, time, management, organization is going to be changed. And one of the areas that people always like to feel that they're secure is in sales. That isn't changing, that has changed. You're no longer going to be selling to another person, because the guy buying your product or service has got an agentic AI on the case and doesn't have the time to go for a nice lunch and discuss it. Consequently, I mean, literally everything is going to change. And if you can do it quicker with AI, then people are going to do it quicker. That is going to lead to significant dislocation and unemployment. I think in the UK, we are fortunately relatively well placed. Whether this was intent or otherwise, back down to Blair's policies of getting university education up to 50%. Best thing about a university degree is it teaches you how to learn, even if it teaches you nothing else. And I think our workforce is best equipped out of Europe to transition, because we are all going to have to transition. That includes me in my late 50s.
Stephen.
Inflation has been and always will be a monetary function. Technology is here to stay. And I certainly agree with you that AI is going to boost productivity globally, which we'll come to in a second about asset prices. But I think that unfortunately, particularly in the UK, the debasement trade is the one that concerns me the most. And that essentially is going to ensure that inflation is trending higher. And I think we're in for a very different era.